How you doing, race fans? I'm pretty excited. Brent's obviously in Hawaii with his whole crew, so he gave me a call and said, "Hey, you want to share some best practices with you guys?" So first off, thank you for giving me a chance to talk to you guys. And I actually have Gary. Raise your hand, Gary. Say hi. I'm going to make you a co-host in a little bit, Gary. Actually, I might do that right now. Actually, why don't we make Gary Meek a co-host as well, if you could, because I'm going to ask him to do a couple screen shares as we get down through this message. So what we're going to talk about some attraction. It seems like a topic we all want to learn about. We always want to, what are the best practices? So kind of like my background. I've spent a lot of years learning the art of how to attract agents. Both Gary Meek and myself, we built an independent brokerage to 218 agents. We had a couple different things that worked, and we felt like EXP was a better choice for us. We moved, a group of those agents over, 100 plus didn't want to come with us. So that process was bumpy, but ultimately was the best thing we could do. But we learned a lot. So we took traditional types of recruiting approaches, and then we turned around and said, how do we really learn the approach of what is EXP's offering? I mean, how do we best tell this message? So the first thing I learned, and this is what I want you guys to actually maybe take some notes if you could. So here's the first thing I want to break down. My background. I don't know, but Gary, can you take yourself off mute?
Yes, sir.
So anyways, everybody, this is Gary Meek, my partner. We've been partners for probably 20 plus years. We're waiting on our first fight, but we haven't had one yet. But Gary, how many agents do you think over the years that I've recruited for the teams and what we're doing?
With all the brokerages, I'd probably say close to 1,000.
Really that high? I was going to say 500, but we lost track a long time ago, you guys. But building a team of agents is very predictable. And what I want you guys to understand is that this process that I'm going to share with you guys is 100% successful for any one of you guys that want to learn how to do this. Gary and I are going to introduce you to a couple tools that we use as a team. We run the New Vision Mega Team. We've been blessed to be in the top 50 teams for the last 4 years with EXP. I think we made it 146 in the top Real Trends top 1,000 teams, and that's about 400 sales. So it's not rocket science. Gary and I are looking to add about 200 sales to that this year. Got some super cool things we're working on. But here's step one. Please, everybody, who here's got some paper? Who's going to write this down? Gary and I are going to go ripping through some of these topics. This will apply to anybody anywhere in America. The first thing you got to do is figure out who your target is. Because if you say all the agents are your target, that's not a strategy. A strategy is understanding physically what your avatar is, because you want to be able to have something really compelling for that discussion. So what is my avatar? Well, my avatar is very straightforward. I like an agent that does 3 to 6 deals a year. You think, well, I don't want to recruit an agent that's 3 to 6. Well, I happen to love that avatar. It doesn't have to be your avatar. And I chose that because I can take that agent and I can help them triple their business through the different systems and the different offerings I have. So it's an extremely compelling conversation. So that is step one. So the question is, what do you do with that list when you first get it? Well, that's pretty important. You got to get on a routine, and your routine is not call every single one of them in 1 month, or even, I guess you could call them all in 1 month, but here's what I recommend: 2 a day. So you build your list and build it up to 100. And that list is going to compile, I would hope, to be your perfect avatar. You can have people a little less, a little bit more based on obviously the personalities you're trying to attract. But that is where this whole journey starts. If you don't create a target, then it's not actually going to manifest. So the next things you do with this target list is you've got to tease them with an offer, a little bit of an offer. And this kind of where I bring in Gary. So are you a co-host yet, Gary?
Yeah, it should be good.
Okay. You know what I want everyone to do? I want you guys to see our team site, because here's the offer we make to an agent doing 3 to 6 deals a year. And it's something I want to extend to everyone on the 1% Club. This is not exclusive to what New Vision does. This is a tool we built for anyone in EXP to exercise the use of. And if you want to potentially clone it and do some stuff like that, you can communicate with Gary. But pop up the New Vision EXP site, Gary.
All right, I'm going to share my screen.
So here's our team site, you guys, and it is your team site. Okay, you don't have to personally build this yourself. This is more of a place to go where you can introduce all the things that EXP has. In fact, it's vast. First off, we did have a nice little video playing here. And if you go up to the menu bar, Gary.
My screen's frozen right now, so let me.
All right. Maybe I can actually do it from my screen.
Yeah, you might have to.
All right, let's do this. Okay, Gary, do you see the screen?
No, you're good.
Okay. Okay, you guys, here's what this site's best designed for. First off, what it's going to do is if you bounce over to resources and marketing, the team hub is what Gary and I offer our team. But here's what I want to advise you guys use this section for. So if you get an agent that's willing to spend a couple minutes with you, let's say 13 or 14 minutes or even 20 minutes, whatever you guys agree to, offer them something of value. What is that something of value? In my case, an agent doing 3 to 6 deals a year, they're going to be very motivated about a roadmap of some kind, something that's going to help them understand this journey. So when we go into the team hub, here are the things that Gary and I put together for our organization. But right here, this is something I want all of you guys to lean on. And if I was to say, hey, use just, I don't know, find somebody in the chat. Maybe I can open up conversations with Mark. Mark, why don't you take yourself off mute? Sewell?
Hey.
So Mark, if I was to give you a call and just ask you, hey, would you spend a little bit of time with me? I want to show what we're doing over here at EXP. You might respond with, I'm totally happy where I'm at, right? You might hit me back a little. And I might start the conversation and say, hey, Mark, how you going out there doing internet leads? So my conversation will begin with the process of landing leads. And you're probably going to dialogue back, yeah, I really haven't figured out how to do it correctly. And I might ask, hey, do you have access to all of the top lead sites that are out there?
No, I don't.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. If you can just spend maybe 10 or 15 minutes with me so I can at least explain what we do here. I probably think it's not the right time but whenever the time's right, we'd love to have a deep conversation. But in the event you'll take a couple minutes with me, I want to be able to share something with you. I'd love to give you all the lead sites that our team uses. So I lead them here to our lead tools and I pop that right there. Even before I show them the video, guys, because I'm trying to figure out how to help them. I'm just offering value. Now, these are the lead sites that we use from a team, obviously a little bit of EXP. And then I talk about the monthly pay sites and I encourage the person I'm trying to offer value. So in Mark's case, I would say, Mark, I really don't think it's a good idea doing 3 to 6 deals a year to start paying a whole bunch of money up front for leads, because that conversation is going to get expensive really fast. So what I do is I say, would you like a list of all the lead sites that our agents are using that are only pay at close? And the answer is everyone wants this list. So it's a very exciting gift to give someone. So first and foremost, if they'll accept invitation to give me a couple minutes to watch the quick introduction video, I'm going to openly just give it to them even before. And at this moment, I say, Mark, take that. I hope it actually helps you close a bunch of escrows. Our team's closing, 8, 10, 12 deals a month from these sites. And then I might ask, I said, do you have a real roadmap of the best practices of what you do, to get your real estate business started? Has anyone ever guided you on the best steps to take?
Yeah, I got a little bit of a roadmap, but always could use some improvement.
Okay. All right. Well, if you look at that tab, that first 90 days, what we did is we set up a tab and it talks about the very best practices for an agent in their first 30 days. And then we bounce over to 60 days, 90 days, and then basically what a monthly maintenance. Now, I'm not trying to go into super deep detail right here on all of these, you guys. What I'm really trying to point out is that this is just something to offer a value that any agent in that my avatar space, these are highly valuable things to give them. You find out what your value proposition is for your avatar, right? So figure that piece out. Now, when we're going over here to resources and marketing, if you go back up, win the conversation, and let's say that I give them those 2 gifts. I'll bounce over to the New Vision Inner Circle, and I will just play this 13-minute video. And then we're just going to have a conversation about it. I'll thank them. And now what I've done is I've put them in the mindset that maybe we might be an option. This right here, if they say, yeah, I'd like more information, or if we have a couple extra minutes, I'm going to go into the EXP Resource Hub. This is all things EXP. If you guys have never seen this site, I think I've had an opportunity to show it a few different times, but this is where it gets very real. And then I sort of move down here into the tech stack, and I'll tell the agents, I said, here are all the tools we offer you as an agent. You get an opportunity to have 3 different options of a CRM. And then I might ask them, what are you guys doing for a CRM? I'm trying to open up conversations about value. Now, they might say yes or no. So, Gary, I'll ask you, are you using a CRM right now, Gary?
No, I just use paper and pen right now.
Okay. You Outlook dog, you. But I will tell them, I said, okay, in the event you're using any one of these tools, we offer a parent training. So I go up to the weekly training schedule and I just say, hey, come be part of our bold training, 10 a.m. every Friday. Now, all I'm doing, you guys, is I'm just trying to offer value. And in this conversation, value is the reason why someone might move their license. They're not going to move them because of splits. They're not going to be this. You're not going to win them over based on a 16K cap or a low technology fee. It's about, can you improve their business? And I tried to take as many notes as I could to figure out how to best guide you through this process. But when I let these agents know that I want them to be on my team, I also let them know at the same time, hey, I don't know, Gary, if it's the right time for you. In fact, it's probably not, but would you consider having a conversation at some point in the future when this, you think you might want to investigate another team to be part of?
Yeah, I'm happy where I'm at, but I always like to know what's going on out there.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Well, do you mind if I stay in touch with you?
Sure, no problem.
Okay. And at this moment, I might offer him our lead sites. I might offer him, but I'll ask the question, do you run a lot of internet leads? Would you like to have a list of the sites that we use? It's sort of a broken record. I'm constantly trying to bring that kind of conversation. So they ask, more questions about EXP, and I'm just sort of dialoguing about it. But I love to tease them with the offer. So actually, let me bounce back to the site, Gary. Let's see. I'm going to kind of turn this over to you right now, Gary. But one of the things we do is we have a very cool 12-week challenge that we've offered. And in our section right here, this is where I openly invite agents to just join us. I might say, hey, Gary, I know you're happy over there at Remax, your real Remax experience. I hope you're going to love that. But at this point, take a look at this 12-week challenge. If you want to integrate in what we're doing, stay at Remax, stay at Keller Williams, stay wherever you're at. And so, Gary, tell us about this 12-week challenge and how it might take an agent from being just a prospective agent that might, consider EXP to, wow, I really want to be part of that challenge.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I took the Fast Cap program back in September of 24. I've been in business for 25 years, but still I was like, I need a little reset. So I took it for 6 weeks and I thought it was pretty good, but I also felt like there were some pieces that were missing. So based on Fast Cap, I created a 12-week challenge that we run 3 of them a year. So I don't run it every single week of the year. I run it in sections, try to stay away from the holidays and things like that. But for our 12-week challenge, I had about 13 people. Steve, can you scroll down to the bottom a little bit?
Yeah.
I had 13 people that stuck with it. I had about 40 join, but about 13 really stuck with it. And so we ran 3 sessions in 2025. And of that, we had 82 buyer agreements signed, 56 listing agreement signs, 64 buyers under contract, and we closed 102 transactions. Now, this is the people that actually got in and tracked everything and reported back to us. So I know that not everybody records everything and did follow up on everything, but to get a snapshot of 102 transactions, and we took one of the agents specifically that joined our team. She did 7 deals in 2025. She just closed her 7th deal, and we're only in May.
Well, how many she got in escrow right now, Gary?
4, and she's on vacation.
Yeah, and she's about to put 3 more in escrow I'm helping her with right now. So 4, 5, 6, 7. She's going to have 7 in escrow. So this works, but I think I want to bring to everyone's attention, are we talking about rev share? Are we talking about getting rich to retire in EXP?
Nope.
You can. That's one approach. It's just not the approach that Gary and I use. We are pure production driven, and we want to improve a real estate agent's business. So the conversation is always around production. Thanks, Gary.
Yep, you got it.
And I would encourage anybody, if you have questions in the chat, and Gary, if you could check the chat and just make sure if anyone's got a specific question, we could talk about it. Let me see a couple other items here I wanted to make sure I could cover for you guys. Oh, here's important, guys. Learn your pattern. You have to have a pattern. Recruiting is not some willy-nilly thing. For example, we put together this list of 100 agents. What do we do with that? One, we let them know we want them to be part of our team. But my first interaction with them is I tell them there might not be ready to join, or it may not be the right time. And I understand that. But in the event when you're ready, I'd love to have a conversation. We'd love to talk about potentially helping you triple your business. And I'd love to have, 15 minutes of your time when we do that. That's the where I started. Now, you guys are going to have to formulate your own offer, but there's more than one production offer. Agents are struggling in a lot of areas. Personal growth. I mean, come on, guys. Who here has read this book, The Road Less Stupid? What do you think of that title? It's really about paying the dumb tax. And we've all paid the dumb tax heavily, haven't we? Anyways, I'll open it up to any questions if people want to ask us, Gary and I specifically, how we're growing. And just if you understand, our group is not enormous. We'll hit 300 salespeople this month. In fact, this will be a milestone for our recruiting. We're actually going to tip over 20 agents that have been added to our rev share this month. So that's another piece of what I want to encourage you. Always set your goals on metrics. So for example, you might have no one in your rev share. So you have to set a physical goal. I want to increase the size of my organization. You could miss that goal, but set the goal. We set the goal early on. We wanted to grow 10 agents a month. So we've consistently worked to hit that. And I'll be like crazy man towards the 28th to the 30th. I really want to push these agents over the mark. Then I take a deep breath and we start again the next month. Now we've set our goal at 20 agents a month, and we're just trying to advance that and build it up. Now, find your superpower. You know what my superpower is? Co-sponsoring. I've found that I can't service everyone. And if I'm going to bring agents into areas that are not near my local area, I'm going to find a person that can help service them. Try not to sponsor anybody personally. I mean, do what you need to do. I'm just saying I prefer co-sponsoring out of my geographic area. It's going to be the right thing for the agent. And you got to find your partners co-sponsor wise. Find those relationships. Look in the top 250 teams. All of these agents, all these team leaders would be open to have a conversation. All of them have systems that can accept an agent into their fold. So exercise that.
Somebody asked you to go back to the New Vision site and show the
Sure.
toolkits again.
All right. What do you want me to show you?
The toolkits under New Vision, the EXP source.
Okay. What do you want me to show them?
EXP Resource Hub. Yeah, close that. Yeah, there you go. The EXP Resource Hub, and it should be the second or third section down, which should be the toolkits.
Copy that.
There
Yeah.
you go.
What we did is we built out all the toolkits. So this is actually a great thing to take someone and show them. I'll show you the buyer toolkit. We took all the different content that EXP had put together as far as what the BRBCs and these different conversations are, and we put them all in here. This is actually a great recruiting tool because I'll ask the agents about the buyer broker agreement, and nobody likes the at least in California, nobody likes the car form we have to use. So all the different training is here, but down here, these are all the ones we actually put in here so you could go ahead and just download them, your single property, your non-exclusive or exclusive. And I like using a non-exclusive. And this is a recruiting moment for all you guys. This is literally how I do it when I talk to an agent. If they hate the current BRBC that they've got to use, I'll pull up the non-exclusive and I'll ask them, let me explain how this works. And I'll show them how simple this document is. And I'll ask them, why don't you present to the prospective buyer that you're looking to have them sign this agreement? Just ask them, read it, see how simple the document is, and tell them it's non-binding if you use a non-exclusive. And I also use a little interesting little hook. I say, hey, you want to just date for the afternoon? I mean, you may not like me and I may not get along with you. So why don't we just do a real short agreement for a day or so and you can go look at some properties. And if we get along, we can go ahead and look at this document again. That works out really good. What else did you want me to show them, Gary?
That was it. That was in the questions. And I will say this. So you guys obviously know EXP has so much information. It's plastered all over the internet. And so we ultimately created this so there was a one-stop shop for all of our agents to be broken down and easy to use that they can find anything and everything within this. And all this does, it's just a dashboard that goes back into EXP. But instead of trying to find everything in EXP, we just set it up here. And for our agents, it's a great tool. And it shows just the value that we created for our agents. And like Steve said, we use it as recruiting all the time.
Another great recruiting technique I ask is I'll ask the question. I'll use you, Gary. I'll role play with you. I say, hey, Gary, over at Remax, how quickly can you get a hold of a broker when you have a really hot thing you got to deal with?
Oh, it's tough, man. I got to make phone calls, texts. Hopefully someone's in the office, sometimes 24 hours.
Okay. All right. Do you want to do a quick trial here? I might just get actually wiped out on this, but I wanted to quickly do an example for you. But here's our customer service line to get into a broker, someone to help us with a problem. Let's call right now. Guys, I call right then. And it's like less than a minute. Someone gets on the phone and I introduce that person, the customer care rep, right to the prospective agent, and their heads are spinning. They're like, oh my God. What I did is a live example of what we can offer them. And then another thing I like to do when I'm recruiting is that I like to show the PowerPoint. And I tell them, I say, please go back and visit this website. And frankly, you guys, some of the big team leads have recreated this. We've helped them clone the site and they've made it their own. They've even taken it to levels we haven't done. But I would say entry-level recruiting, all you need is a place to take someone. We've built this. We want to offer it to all users if you feel like you can have value. Over here in the attraction section, we have all the growth and attraction section. You got the rev share calculator, growth and attraction tools. I wanted the company PowerPoint right here, and I go ahead and I just click that. Takes us to the company PowerPoint. And I will go through a couple quick slides, but I'm going to stop right here on this slide. And I don't go much further, but the reason I think this slide's impactful is everybody has their opinion of who's the best, right? And a good old graft is going to do the job every single time. 343,000 sales. And now Anywhere Advisors, we know that, that debt bomb that Compass and those guys are working on right now, but that is a whole, how many companies are in Anywhere Advisors, Gary?
I want to say it's like 6 major ones, like Sotheby's, ERA, Coldwell Banker, not Berkshire Hathaway, Better Homes and Gardens, and Century 21.
Yeah, it's a lot of name brands out there. And you throw them all in one bucket. We crushed them, all of them. Okay. Now, I want to point out the top 250 EXP agents. This is an important conversation because if I'm talking to someone that's sold 1,000 homes like Gary and I have, or 8,000 homes like our team's done, we want to have a little conversation of why the top professionals are coalescing into EXP. And I'll say, look, if you took just the top 250 of the agents that work at EXP and you said they're a standalone brokerage, they'd be the 4th or 5th or 6th largest real estate company in the world. That is a giant statement. And then the visuals right in front of them. Oh, do you want to be part of LPT? Do you want to be part of Real? The risk, do you want to invest all the time it takes to develop an organization and potentially they don't have the financial strength to make it? No, the conversation's over. So that's why I use this slide. I just want to, and not everybody can say this, but we like to promote the fact we're in the top 50 in that group. But here's what I also want you to learn. I want you to pick someone in the top 250, become a friend, connect with them, let them know that you'd like to do co-sponsoring with them so that you can use some of that strength and bring in someone that might have that capacity to help you close a big agent. Bring them on the phone. I would be happy to get on the line with any one of you guys. I know Brent will. He does for all of us. And Tom Daves is my direct partner. #1 agent in the world for 7 years straight with Keller Williams. He's probably on the call right now. I love bringing Tom in, and he and I co-sponsor a lot because my team services a lot of the things he's doing, and his influence is giant in my area. So that's some of the positives, and you guys need to figure that piece out too. So I didn't want to really badger this thing too much about our team site, but our recruiting does revolve around that tool. Let me see a couple other final thoughts I wanted to share with you guys. Probably the most important thing when you start to introduce these top 100 people that you've targeted is you need to invite them to some form of a training every single month. Okay. We have our Thursday roundup that's always done here in this office. It's always done in Zoom. It's a very valuable place to invite agents if you're targeting agents in Northern California. If you're not, the Zoom calls, great. But as I build relationships with these 100 agents, my main focus is how do I help their production? And I want them to be around the team. Your main focus is you want them to know that you're going to help them in their real estate business wherever they need it. It might be personal growth, you guys. I mean, start a book club for heaven's sakes. I run a couple different book clubs, and they're not all with EXP. I invite agents from any brokerage because we're talking about growth, okay? Brent has taught me since I was 18 years old, read, grow, help others grow. Just serve. Everything else is going to sort itself out if you can serve people long enough. Now I'm going to do this. Take yourself off mute, everyone, and just ask Gary and I any questions you'd like about recruiting. Because my message was simple. Build your avatar, invite them to see what we're part of, and continually develop that relationship by offering that kind of value. Who here has a question?
Howard Dobbins has his hand raised. Go ahead and unmute, Howard.
Howard, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man. Good afternoon. Appreciate everything you guys are doing. I am in transition of trying to be more into recruiting. I'm a two-time icon. I've been here for 4 years, 22 years in the business. Love everything about what you guys do. And thank you for offering to let us copy what you're doing, because I'm just not smart enough to I don't have enough people to put anything that together. But the two questions I have, well, three actually. When you're engaged, I have Courted. Do you know who that is? Courted is a program that has everybody in our MLS and, predicts on whether they will move or something like that, and has all their volume and everything like that and how long they've been in. It's a really neat program. I'm not trying to sell it or anything like that. And I'm just getting really engaged with it. So first question is, when you go out and you call people, Brent says normally on Friday, sometimes I just flat out forget. So are you a Monday caller? Or are you a Thursday, Friday caller for next week? And then asking that, two questions behind that is it coffee dates that you're going on, or are you finding with the younger crowd that you work with? Are they more interested in Zoom meetings or just telephone calls? So
all the above. I personally would like to go to lunch with anyone that will meet with me personally. It's something Brent and I have done for years and years. Brent and I have been part of other businesses when we were very young people in our teens, and we always learned to just meet and have coffee and talk to somebody face to face. But we find that to be the best approach when you're building a team of agents. Face to face is my best.
Okay. And then I guess the next question is, I really like the concept of inviting people to training for a new agent and I'm a trainer and a mentor and stuff like that. I do pretty well. But obviously I don't know everything. So I guess my question would be, with agents that you're talking about, 3 to 6 sales, 10 sales a year that you're trying to improve. I've coached for almost 20 years. I love doing stuff like that. So, is there a particular training that you find that you can invite these people to? Because I don't want to invite 400 people to 20 different types of training, then have to be there every time. Or try to be there.
I'll explain what I do. I recruit to our Thursday team hub. It's open to everyone in EXP. It's on our EXP site. It's on our New Vision EXP site. In fact, I'll show it to you real quick. So right here in the team training, just go to the weekly schedule.
Right.
Our Thursday opportunity would be this one's going to be at our Placer County Board of Realtors, which would lead me to a conversation that you guys need to have with your local leaders. Your local leaders, wherever you're at, try to have someone do a training every month, a place that you can all coalesce. So in our direct market, every third Thursday, we rent the Placer County Board of Realtors, bring a couple hundred agents there, and we bring in someone that has a lot of skill set, and we want to train the agents. But all those 100 that I'm targeting, I invite them. And we right now, I know Gary and I, we probably have one of the larger organizations, and we're not the largest organization in this area, but we have about the largest attendance at these because we make it a concentrated effort. And that's the piece that is important about recruiting. I make a conscious effort to make 2 phone calls a day. I make a conscious effort to invite agents every single week to some form of a training that they can benefit from. It's just kind of my bicycle. I'm on it.
Okay, that's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Howard. Appreciate you, buddy. Congratulations on being a 2-time icon, man. That's big.
Working on 3, brother.
All right, man. All right. Any other questions out there? I know we're bringing Burl on here in a second, but I want to make sure in the next 5 minutes I can answer any possible questions to help you guys.
Steve, I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you're recruiting people, do you, I know Brent always talks about inviting him to a training. It's inviting, which is great. But if you've got a goal to get this business in front of people, like I know Clark does and other people, like you're more direct. And so I'm curious, if you do the direct approach, how does it work? You say, Steve, I notice you're just killing it. I'm curious, are you totally locked into where you're at? Are you absolutely closed-minded to any other opportunities, or are you might be possibly open to considering another brokerage? Do you ever?
Actually, I say it differently. So I'll role play with you, Tom. Hey, Tom, this is Steve over at New Vision Realty. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, Steve, what's happening?
Not too much, man. I thought I'd give you a quick call. How you doing these days?
Good. Just working a lot. Just dealing with interest rates and clients, and some good, some bad. The whole real estate game. It's pretty much the same game, different players.
Yeah. Hey, have you found some good training out there?
Yeah, we do have some. Yeah.
Cool. Well, the reason my call is that I wanted to invite you over to the Thursday PCAR training. We got a speaker coming in. Now, here's the thing, guys. All I did is dive right into inviting him to one of our trainings. And the answer is, I'm openly going to tell Tom, hey, Tom, you might not be ready, but I'd be open to have a conversation if it's ever right about you joining our team. So I lead the conversation with giving him an out. Tom, I'm pretty sure you're not, in a space where you're ready to change brokerages. You're going to tell me right up. No, it's not exactly true. I'm probably, thinking about moving this year. Well, okay. You want to have a conversation about what we're doing? And I ask for the opportunity. Do you want a moment to hear what we're doing? But I don't openly offer it. I more or less take the takeaway, because my conversation when I call is to ask them would like to come to a training. That is why I'm calling. I'm not calling to have any other conversation. I want to improve their business. So that is my approach.
Okay, so you're calling, your direct approach is directly calling to invite them to a training.
That's it. That's right.
Okay, so if I'm someone on your list that you've been calling for months, say 6 months, I haven't been able to come to a training. I know the drill. I know what you're calling about. How does that conversation?
Well, it actually, this is where you're all agents, guys. We're salespeople. Okay. All I want to do is make friends. So as I'm developing this connection with these 100 agents, they get to know me. I've got a really lovely agent in West Sacramento. In fact, she was so adamant, never. But you know what happened yesterday? She accepted my invitation and she registered for the Thursday training. It's been a year and a half. And her and I have a great friendship. We've just been talking. Every time we talk, I say, hey, I'm not calling to recruit you, just looking to see how your business is doing. And here's something we did at the office that was really successful. Thought I'd share it with you. So my opportunity to improve her business is all I'm calling for. So thank you, Tom. Appreciate it, buddy.
Somewhere along the line, you said, look, hey, I'd love to have a conversation with you if you're open. And I love the fact that you kind of took it away. Hey, Steve, you're probably never looking to leave Compass. They're a great company and you're obviously thriving there. So that's probably the furthest thing from your mind is to leave Compass. Yet would love to have that conversation if the opportunity ever presents itself. That being said, we've got a great event Thursday that I'd love to invite you to.
Yeah, that's it, guys. It's not that complicated. If they don't have the time, it's okay. I keep it low key and I just reinvite. We have a little conversation. I had a conversation with some agents that live up the hill 30 minutes this morning, and their main agent was really ill today. And they said, I don't think we're really going to be ready to travel tomorrow. And I said, no problem. And we just talked about how life was, how their escrows were going. And I'm just looking to connect and make friends. I don't have an agenda except to help them. The agenda is to help improve their business and make a friend. wherever this takes us, because the moment we call it high noon. When an agent hits high noon, they're receptive. You call them at 3:00 or you call them at 6:00 when they're on the not ready clock, they're not interested in hearing your message. They just closed $2 million in escrow. They're not receptive. And that is not when you press your idea about them moving brokerages. If you're in their life enough and frequently enough, when that moment comes up, you're going to get a private message. You're going to get a text. You get an email. I get them weekly. When agents say, hey, you know what? I am a little frustrated. We just got a minimum 2.5 commission we have to charge from our brokerage now. And that is a conversation. I just sort of tee it up. Now, today, you guys, the main thing I wanted all you guys to know is you're available to use our team site as a resource and that you need to focus on 100 agents. If all of you understand that one principle, and you build that avatar list and you communicate with that avatar list, you're going to sign up 1 to 2 agents a month. It is a predictable science. And Gary says we've hired 1,000+ agents. I'm not sure if it's that high, but we've been at this for a long time and it's been very specific. We're trying to help people produce more. So we're at 2:07. I don't know if Vern is in the house yet. Vern, you in the house? I don't know if he is or isn't.
2:10. He's got about 3 minutes.
Merle's not in yet.
Not in the house. All right. Well, this is question and answer, guys.
I want to just button this up because I feel like I'm getting on the invitation train where I invite people forever. And it's almost like you're hanging around the chick, but you're afraid to ask her out. So you keep inviting her to say, okay, eventually you got to let her know you're interested. Eventually the conversation's got to come around, or you just keep inviting them forever, waiting for them to say, hey, what are you doing? I want to join your brokerage. Versus
I'm going to stop you there, Tom. I'm glad you said that. I started this conversation with telling you to build that list and tell that list what your intention is. My intention is at some point, if the timing's ever right, I'd love to have a conversation about being part of what we're doing. So I don't.
You have that conversation.
And if I didn't say that at the very beginning, it is part of my notes. But if you build your target, try not to be everywhere and try not to be everything to everybody. Try to be a very good solution for your avatar. What does that avatar need? You will advance the avatar. You'll get to a point now you're going to maybe want to talk to only capping agents. Maybe Gary and I should have that conversation, but we're not there. We're still in production. We're still helping people with production. We want to, like I said, move the team another 200+ sales this year. And the reality is I want them to know what my intentions are. And then when we do talk and we're just sort of shooting the breeze, I'm going to say, Tom, is things good over there at Remax? Tell me what's happening in your life. And I shut my face and I let Tom talk. And if he just shares the wonderful things that are going on and he's having all these great systems that he's building and he created a new partnership, I'm only going to be his cheerleader because that ride is not going to be there forever. And when the boat has a hole in the, starts springing a leak or there's a crack in the foundation, you want to be there for someone to at least privately feel comfortable to reach out and have that, hey, you know what? I'm not super happy over here at whatever brokerage. Can I have a conversation? And you would be surprised. Every single week, I have agents reaching out, wanting to continue the conversation. It's because I did the work. I built a list of agents. I told them my intention, and then I started to serve them. And I'm going to tell everybody right now, Clark's off running stuff. There's Clark Broom. I see him on the call. You guys all see Clark. Clark is the most disciplined human I have ever met in my life. He was my business mentor when I was a teenager, and I just cannot give him big enough props that he trained Brent and I for years on how to do what we're doing here. So, and he is a recruiting machine. He's my biggest team. Anyways, thank you, Clark. I couldn't be more proud of you. All right, anyone got final questions? I'm just wanting to wrap this up so Verl gets in. Is it clear? How are we doing out there? We got two questions.
Lori, Lori Ellen Macaluso had a question. Just so you know, the lead generation sites, we don't get anything for that. It is just something I created on Google Doc. Everything is a hyperlink. You go right in there. We have agents that are probably closing 10 deals a year from 5 or 6 of those sites. I still use at least 2 or 3 that I'm getting leads from on a consistent basis. But yeah, that's just our gift to you guys.